The last story for the day. I'm running out of time. Shit. Last story for the day. Remember I spoke about the new AKA and Anele Tembe book that's coming out, When Love Kills. And now the author of that book is Melissa Ferguson. And she's finally speaking out, and she's talking about why she wrote the book. She's talking about how she wrote the book. And yeah, so she is on Africa's biggest podcast and chill with Mark G. Except this time it's not with Mark G. Now it's podcast and chill with Solomzi. So yeah, Mac was not in this episode, but yeah, Sol held it down. Yo, I was reading the comments and like niggas were just like bigging him up. Like I was like, wow, that's so dope. They weren't even talking about the interview. They were just like, Sol did a great fucking job. And I mean, it's expected. He's a broadcaster. He's on radios and interviews. He's like, he really knows shit. He really has great interviewing skills. I wish I heard more of Ghost Lady. She wasn't really present that much. I couldn't hear much of what she said. Sorry, I said Melissa. This is Melinda. Yeah. But anyway, so I've started at 18 minutes. We're not going to watch the entire thing. Obviously, it's very long. But you guys will, I'll just show you this interesting bit. Then you guys will go watch the rest of it. So yeah, this is Melinda Ferguson, Podcast and Chill. They're talking about the new book, aka Anele. Let's get it.
It's like I had to write about this story. I think in many ways I was very disturbed by Anele Tembe falling. I never believed that she killed herself. It just sounded weird. For me, the big thing that, and we're going into that suddenly, but the big thing for me was, why didn't Kiernan go downstairs and check if his girlfriend was okay? His fiance.
Yeah. Remember I spoke about in the video that it's alleged that, Kiernan didn't even go downstairs. He didn't even, and she was alive for some time. He wasn't even the one to call the ambulance. You know what I mean? So, yeah, let's carry on.
The girl he had just got engaged to. I found that to be a very strange thing. Like, if you love someone, don't you want to go and check? Especially she wasn't dead. Anele Tembe lay on the floor. I mean, not the floor, the road, a horrible street, an early morning Sunday street. For 20 minutes, that girl slowly died. Why didn't he go down and see if he could help her?
Does the book get to the why?
Well, I have, and I'm not going to tell you all the juicy details because there's a very compelling chapter where I get to interview the man, Rob Stefanatu.
Who's that?
He's the man who's sitting in his apartment.
Remember we spoke about Rob as well? He was the dude. He was in the apartment that was adjacent to the hotel where they were. And allegedly he saw Anele on the ground and he heard the screamings and all of that that came out of the room, which for me, I kind of have a problem with this part because, mind you, so they're in a hotel. I'm pretty sure they did not book out the entire hotel. A hotel has many rooms, regardless, even small hotels, big or medium hotels, they have many rooms. How is it that there's only one witness who was, mind you, in a building across from the hotel? He wasn't in the building in the hotel. He was in a building across from the hotel. So what about the other people in the hotel? Are you telling me nobody heard anything? Because if you're across from the hotel in a separate building and you can hear screaming and you can hear, thumping and stuff like that, how the hell do the other people in the hotel can't hear anything? So I don't understand that part, but let's continue.
Monday morning, sitting watching the news, when he hears the screaming of a woman, he says it's not a normal screaming. He thinks someone is being murdered. He's hearing, leave me alone, leave me, like screaming, like,
Hysteria.
But that someone is with her. She's not just like screaming. He hears the screaming. He's sitting on his couch and then he hears a bang, like a gun going off. He thinks someone's been shot and it's Anele's body dropping onto the street below. He rushes to the balcony. AKA sees him. There's reports in the newspapers that AKA sees a man across the road at a balcony. Rob doesn't see AKA, but AKA doesn't know whether Rob has seen him or not. So do you understand what I'm saying here?
Okay, but you said AKA sees Rob. So
Yeah.
Rob is not
This part got a bit confusing. So they're saying that they're alleging that Rob, he saw Anele on the ground. He just saw Anele on the ground. He didn't look across from him to see AKA. He didn't see AKA. But on the reverse side, AKA was looking at Rob. So AKA was looking at Rob, looking down at Anele. You know what I mean? So I can see someone looking down, like, oh shit, I can see this person's looking down. Can this person see me? Is this person seeing me? You know what I mean? Like, but then on the other side, the person is just looking down. He doesn't see anything. So one person saw that person. That person doesn't know if that person saw that person, but that person didn't see that person. You know? So interesting. Confusing, interesting.
sure that AKA is seeing him, but he definitely sees there is a man.
Rob does not see AKA. He admits to me in my interview with him, he does not see across. He just looks down, he sees a girl lying there, and he gets downstairs.
How does he know, though, that AKA can see him?
Because in the press later, AKA admitted to seeing a man across.
Can I just shout out the set and the aesthetic? So clean. Rooftop, Cape Town. They're in some hotel. They say it in the beginning. I forgot the hotel, but it looks so beautiful, man. Sound quality is like podcast and chill. This is why I love this. This is like premium quality fucking entertainment content. You know what I mean? Let's get it.
In some interview or whatever, there's information out there that AKA knows that someone across the thing has, well, he thinks has seen him. In fact, he hasn't. And I don't think AKA knows that. AKA then goes to the room next door. That's according to
the statement. His statement. Okay.
He goes, and he says his friends tell him not to go down. Sorry, I'm going to be quite blatant here. Your friends tell you not to go down. Why are you listening to your friends? Your woman is lying on the street below. Rob rushes down. He sees a body of a black woman. She's naked, but they've covered her now with a sheet. He doesn't.
So who's arrived now before Rob?
She's naked. I think that's a very important component to the whole story. Like, why was she naked? You know what I mean? Because I think if you're going to commit suicide, you know what I mean? I don't think you're going to do it naked. You know what I mean? Like, at least you're going to want to die with some dignity. You know what I mean? You want to die with, because you don't know who's going to find your body. Just now, you're naked, someone finds your body and they do weird things. You know what I mean? So I really don't, if you want to kill yourself, you want to commit suicide, would you do it naked? Like, would you decide to jump off a building, but first be like, oh, let me take off all my clothes, you know? And then there's like when it comes to this AK Anele story, there's a lot of different perspectives, a lot of different narratives going around, a lot of different stories. But for me, the main three for me that stand out and that I think are plausible in this whole story is that, for one, she mentions that in their relationship, there was a lot of instances of taking drugs and doing all kinds of things like that. So if she was one to take drugs and, you know, do stuff like that, depending on what drugs you say, they mention cocaine a lot, all of that. So for me, one instance would have been that she got freaking high off her mind, maybe panicked, maybe was hallucinating, taking off all her clothes. Then, you know, because you can do some drugs and you just go crazy. Like, you really can. I've heard stories of niggas who've done like weed and fucking gone mad, because not every drug is for everybody. So yeah, for me, one plausible thing is that she got super high, got crazy, hallucinated, undressed, jumped, whatever. That's one. The second thing is that, for me, I just don't believe that she wanted to, you know, off herself because she was naked. If she was fully clothed, yeah, for me that would make sense. But I don't think a normal person wants to off themselves naked. And then obviously there's the third thing where that's, you know, I won't say it because, you know, they're both dead. So I don't really want to speak on the dead like that. You know, I'm interested in the trial and the story and you know, I'm not interested in throwing stones.
Rob, and there's some people from the Pepper Club that have come out and have covered her with a sheet.
Okay.
Rob knows the people who own the Pepper Club. He phones these people. They say, put cones out, sort out things. Rob phones the paramedics. He goes to Anele Tembe now, who the sheet is covered. He pulls the sheet back. He says to her, if you can hear me blink, she blinks. She's alive. He starts, a strange black woman. He doesn't know that it's AKA's girlfriend. He knows nothing about AKA and Anele. He tries to wipe the blood from her mouth and he starts doing CPR on her. For me, this is part of the story that like literally is the minute, like the seconds of Anele lying there, the reality of the girl who's just like, she just jumped, she was crazy, just fell, you know what I mean? Like there's been so much shit said about Anele Tembe. But the reality is a woman is lying, 22-year-old girl is lying, her body, one can only imagine what it looks like. And then the paramedics come. She stays alive for about 20 minutes and then she passes away.
Yeah, that's rough. But yeah, I do agree with what you say. I think the story is a lot more nuanced and complex than, and I also don't think it's a story of just like, I'm just gonna say it. I also don't think it's a story of like AK just fucking pushed or threw her out. Or like, I don't think it's that sort of story either. I also don't think it's a story of her who's crazy and decided to jump or I also don't think it's just a story of suicidal. I think it's a mixture of like everything. You know what I mean? Like because that was like a really toxic relationship. I think from both ends it was toxic. One of them was an inflated superstar. The other one was came from a wealthy family. You can just tell that the concoctions of this, the ingredients of this concussion is just like it just calls for something. One of them was like heavy into drugs. The other one was like suicidal, so she's always doing pills. Because I mean, there was alleges where Anele was in psychiatric hospitals. Anele had attempted suicide previous times. You know what I mean? So fuck, man. This is it's a mind-blowing thing. And then to add on the fact that they're both dead is just fucking, man, it's really tragic. I won't lie. It's not, I don't see it as entertainment. I know you niggas gonna come from me think like I'm trying to see this as like, this is interesting. Like I just see this as like a comment on society and something that really I think just a lot of us can just maybe learn from the fact that shit can get toxic, shit can turn sideways, and you can end up dead, over love. And I think that's what the book is trying to say. You can really end up dead over this person that you think is love, even though your relationship, is not good for you. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there. You guys will definitely go watch the rest of it. But yeah, that's what I have for today, guys. As usual, thank you so much for thank you so much for watching. I really, really, really appreciate each and every one of you guys. And yeah, we've just reached 50,000 million zillion subscribers. I'm kidding, but we've reached 50 subscribers, and yeah, I'm so happy, man. It's so dope. Shout out to each and every one of you. I really, really appreciate you guys are really watching the videos. You guys are commenting, sharing, all of that. That's great. I love it. Thank you guys, and yeah, don't forget to subscribe, like the video, share your comments, man. Let me know what you guys think. I really appreciate when you guys share your comments and let me know what you think. Tell me if I'm not correct or if I'm having a different perspective, or tell me your guys' perspective about it. So yeah, I'll catch you guys definitely on the next video. It's the weekend, we're getting lit, babe. We're getting lit. Anyway, yeah, I'll see you guys on the next video. It's your boy, you're so sad. Bow.